Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and my name is Siri and welcome back to another video. So I have been waiting from a very long time to make this video, but I was like, I have to put my words in a right manner possible because I really want this video to reach as many people as it can because this is a very important topic as always and something that is actually bothering us in these days, which is phone addiction. I know it's real. I know a lot of you have this addiction towards phone. We have to accept it that yes, we are very much addicted to our phone. We wake up early in the morning, we check our phone. We have some free time, we check our phone. We have an important day, we have to take out our phone, click pictures, and we have to post them. So, phone addiction is the real problem that we have to solve, at least in the year 2025, is what I'm thinking. Let me just tell you everything through my experiences because that's how I can explain to all of you. Children, to that matter, in these days are very much addicted to phones. They're not eating their food, they refuse their food if there's no phone in their hands. I read an article which says 81% of children are refusing food if they do not have a phone in their hands. And when children were given options to choose one from their mom and the phone, like they were given options of their mom and phone, 61% of the children choose phone over their moms. And see how this addiction is actually taking over our life, and it's high time that we actually solve it, recognize it that yes, we are very much addicted to our mobile phones and we have to actually get rid of it. And that's what this video is all about. So talking about phone addiction, I completely understand that in these days it's very difficult to stay without phone, to not to stay without technology, because a lot of our work is related to that. A lot of our work is related to the technology and stuff. But I don't think so something should take over our life, right? It's our life, we need to have control on things, right? When do we want to use phone, when do we want to eat, when do we want to rest, when do we want to go to the gym? It should be in our control. But after this amazing phone has come into our life, it completely has taken over our life. It is deciding when we are going to eat our food, it is deciding when we are going to hit the gym, it is deciding when we are supposed to do our work, which is the worst thing that's happening in these days, is what I'm believing. And you have to accept the fact that yes, you guys are very much addicted to your phone because we are not able to survive without it. Because as soon as we wake up in the morning, the first thing that we are doing is checking our phone if there is any message on social media, if there is any big news on social media, something or the other has literally taken over our life, because that's what is the first thing that we are doing in the morning and that's the last thing that we do in our day. So our day starts and ends with a phone, right? And you have to accept it that yes, we are very much addicted to it. And let me just share how I got rid of this addiction, because I completely agree and understand that at some point in our life we got addicted to it, because there is a kind of FOMO that we feel, because when we see people using a lot of mobile phone, we see that oh my god, they're using their phone, even we are supposed to do it. So out of FOMO, a lot of times we tend to use the mobile phone, even though it's not necessary. We scroll social media just to pass our time. So all these situations, I'm very sure you must have already gone through, and even I have gone through all of them. So it's been almost 1.5 to 2 years since I have literally got rid of my phone addiction. I've never been, right from my childhood, I'm really thankful to my parents in this particular case, which is my mother is very strict when it comes to using phone. Even till today, she wants me like anything. If I am going overdose using my phone, she's literally going to warn me. my all thanks to my mom and dad in that particular case. If they would not have done it, I'm pretty sure even today I would have been that person who would not survive without phone. I have reached a stage in my life where I'm like, even if you put me in a no phone zone, I can still survive, but that completely comes with practice, that completely comes with an intention to actually be like that. So coming back to the topic, my mother has always been very strict when it comes to my phone usage. So at some point in my life where I was at my home for a brief period of time, for like let's say 5 to 6 months I was at home because of a health condition. So I had to be there at home itself. So I had no option other than scrolling my phone, right? So what I've done is I've scrolled social media so much, I literally got addicted to it. I had no other pastime than actually scrolling the phone. I had no other pastime than using my phone. I completely forgot to read books. I completely forgot to like literally do any kind of physical activity, eat on time, eat healthy food, spend time with my family, do uh, little things that would make me happy, do a product, like have a productive day. I forgot everything because phone has entered my life, and I'm like, it completely took over my life. I'm only waking up, using my phone, afternoon using my phone, evening using my phone. And if you ask me, is there anything useful that I'm doing on the phone? Nothing. I'm scrolling some random content on social media, something that is not even related to me, something from which I wouldn't even learn anything. I'm just wasting my time on that. Now reality has hit me when I lost one of my dearest family members. It's a very emotional story to me when I say this, that there's one of my very dearest family members. So he's my uncle, and I lost him exactly 2 years ago. Yes, it is a very heartbreaking thing for me at that point of time. So he was sick for some time. We didn't know that we would actually lose him, and I went, I visited him. He spoke to me. Siri, I'm okay. It's okay. It's all right. I'm telling you, when reality has actually hit me. So he was telling me that yes, you're right. It's okay. It's all fine. He spoke to me. So looking at him, I thought, okay, he would be okay. Maybe he needs to go through some medication, but after a point of time, he's going to be okay. Is what I thought. So after when he was going through the medication, he constantly wanted to speak to me because he really likes me. Right from my childhood, I literally share like a very special bond to him. He's like my father to me. So very special bond. So he wanted to speak to me on call. Okay. At that time, I was literally addicted to my phone. So he spoke to my mom. Um, he asked my mom that where is Siri? I want to speak to her. But no, I was busy with my phone. I prioritized my phone over that person. Of course, I went to him, I visited him, I spoke to him. Uh, it was all good. All my life, I have been very close to him. All my life, I have literally looked at him as one of the inspirations. I looked up to him. I've always given that respect to him. That one regret that always, like, literally eats me up every time is that he called my mom and asked for Siri. Siri, my mom called me, but I was somewhere scrolling my phone. And I was like, no, no, I just don't want to speak. I was like that because I was in that phase of addiction in my life. You won't believe me when I say this. That was his last call in his life, like the last call of his life. And the next call that we get, which says he's no more. And at that time, it hit me. You know, you are Siri literally choosing phone over people. You don't want to speak to your relatives. You don't want to speak to anyone, and you just want to be with phone. How ridiculous is that? What kind of life you are living? are the questions that were there in my mind. It took me a while to actually come out of that phase of my life where I couldn't accept him that he was no more. That was the last call. And I was like, I broke down that he might have wanted to speak to me about something. And I regret that moment. If there's any one moment that I really, really regret, it's that. It is that. I should not have done it. When of course, I was immature. I was in that teenage, that rebel phase of my life where I was like, you don't tell me what to do, I'll do whatever I want. I was in that phase in my life and I've done it. And I regret the most today. About it also makes me feel so shameful that how did I do it? I regret it so bad. And from that moment, I've realized how this addiction is actually taking over our life. Our priorities have changed. What we are prioritizing in our life has completely changed. We are prioritizing our mobile phone addiction over our dearest people in our life. Isn't that so stupid? And I'm telling you, there is going to be one point in your life where it is actually going to hit you, and that is when you're actually going to change. And for me, it was that moment. um, of course, he passed away because of a health issue. I completely understand that. But because even doctors were helpless at that point of time. But I regret it because he just wanted to speak to me at that time. And that was his last call. After that, I cried and cried and cried that I wish I get a call from him again. But there's no chance. There's no chance. Because my priority was different at that time. And that's how our lives are functioning these days. You don't believe me? I've seen people prioritizing their phone over their mom, over their dad, over their parents, which is literally the worst thing that's happening in these days, which we definitely have to figure out a way to solve it. If we don't solve it, it will be remain unsolved addiction, which is completely take over our lives itself. And these days we complain a lot that children are using so much of phone. They are literally addicted to phone. But I blame parents over here. Because if you don't introduce that to them, how do they know about it? If you don't have control over it, how do you expect them to have control over it? You yourself as a parent, you are using a phone, you are using your mobile phone to the utmost level possible, and you're expecting your child to not to use phone. You're expecting your child to have food without using the phone. How foolish is that? I'll give you a very simple example. I'm very sure you know my neighbor called Tanvi. So she doesn't use phone, and I'm very very proud of her. I'm very happy for her that she doesn't use phone, because her mom, right from her childhood, took a conscious decision that I'm not going to give mobile phone to Tanvi. In case if I give, I'm going to, in case if she asks for it, I'm going to tell her all the disadvantages of using mobile phone. That's the kind of promise she took right from her childhood. And today, she doesn't even like to use phone because she is very much indulging herself into a lot of physical activities. She would just like to go out, play. She would watch stories. She would read books. She would do so much of other stuff without using phone. Now, here I would give a lot of credit to Tanvi's mom because she took that decision to not to give her phone, to not to give her phone right from her childhood. So that's why I'm telling you, I'm not going to blame children over here because what do they know? They'll follow you whatever you do, right? I feel as this generation, even we have to set an example to the other generation, the next generation, that we should not get addicted to it. What you are doing, that's what your children are going to follow, right? If you're complaining that my child is literally addicted to mobile phone, who taught your child about that? Isn't that you? Do you think they taught that in school? No, right? It's you who taught that. If you did not teach your child to use the mobile phone while eating, then who taught that? Use You've sown the seed. Now that seed is going to become a plant, and in future it's going to become a tree where your child will be completely addicted to mobile phone. And we are literally setting the worst examples possible for the next generation. Because what kind of habits do we have these days? Waking up, use our phone, scroll social media. While sleeping, scroll social media. If you have any break time, scroll social media. If you have any free time, use your phone, watch something. I'm not saying that do not use your phone at all. I'm telling you that keep a control over it, because I understand it's difficult to completely cut off your phone because a lot of our work is done through it. I understand that. But you need to have a control over how much is consuming your time. That is very important. And from the moment the reality has hit me that I'm prioritizing my mobile phone over talking to someone who's so dear to me, I've realized this is not how I want my life to be. This is not how I want my life to be. From that day, I completely, literally changed as a person where I'm prioritizing my family, I'm prioritizing my health, my looks, the way I look, the way I think, the way I do works, the way my productivity is. From that day, I started to focus on it. But I, of course, regret that moment. And I have a sense of anger on myself that I prioritized my phone and I don't like it. I hate it. I'm using the word hate. I literally hate that moment. That's what I'm telling you. We are completely forgetting to live in the moment. We don't want to prioritize our family. We don't want to prioritize our mother, our father. We don't want to prioritize anything. Because, using our phone is more important than spending time with them, isn't it? Right? Using our phone is far more important than it. Do you think so? And let me just tell you how I got rid of it. I'll explain the exact story. I'll explain the exact steps that I followed in order to actually got in order to get rid of this phone addiction. One thing is start being selfish. You have to start being selfish because you have to think about your own life. A lot of times when we are scrolling social media, it's a lot about others' life, what's happening in their life. I'm not saying that don't consume content at all. You do. Everything should be in limit. Everything should have a control. Be selfish at some points, because when you wake up early in the morning, be selfish that no, I don't want to take a look of others life. I want to take care of my own life over here, which is I want to wake up and I would like to go to gym. Be selfish. Okay. When you sleep, be selfish that my sleep is more important than me scrolling social media or me trying to stalk somebody. Be selfish to take care of your own sleep over there. Or when it comes to just randomly using some social media without even attending your family events, or without even spending some time with your family. Be selfish that my family is the only important thing to me right now, and I'm not going to prioritize anything else at this point of time. And I am selfish. I have no shame in admitting that yes, I am selfish. I prioritize my health over using my phone the first thing in the morning. I choose to sleep early. I don't choose to sleep at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock by scrolling my phone because I'm selfish. I want to take care of myself. I'm selfish that I don't use my phone, I don't watch anything in the time of spending time with my family because I'm selfish, because I want to spend that time with my family. That's the utmost important thing to me at that point of time. So that's why I'm telling you, be selfish. No matter what people are going to think about you, it doesn't matter. Just be selfish. That is going to help you a lot. And the next one that I've really followed is alternatives. Um, I right from my childhood, I've always loved plants. Okay. And I've always loved just sitting by myself. I'm that kind of a person right from my childhood. Now, because phone has come into my life, I've realized that I've completely stopped doing them. uh, I completely stopped even taking care of the plants that were there in my home. They're all dried up. There's no proper soil. There's no proper compost. There's nothing. So what I've done is I just gave myself few works to complete in that particular day. That yes, I am going to complete these works in this day. Until then, I'm not going to touch my phone. I just started to discover my hobbies. What is my hobby? So, right from my childhood, what do I actually love? I love plants. So, why don't I actually spend more time on plants than phone? Of course, it's not going to give me a knowledge, but it's at least going to give me some peace. At least my thoughts would work. At least my mind is going to function. At least my mind is not filled with all the rubbish, is what I thought. So, alternatives are really going to help you to get rid of this addiction of phone. You have to understand it. Please find an alternative. I'm very sure every one of you have some or the other hobby when it comes to your life. You could be loving anything. Okay. So this is also one of the tips that really helped me. And one more tip that really helped me is actually stepping out of the house. A lot of times why we don't use phone is we are not stepping out of the house at all. We are so uh, busy in our own comfort zone. We are just lying down on our bed, just being in our house. I'm not saying that go out of state, out of country. No, just go out, take a walk, go here and there. You will meet new people, talk to them, make new friends, spend time with human beings. That is going to reveal a new version of yourself, I'm telling you. Spend time with human beings, spend time with people, not the mobile phones. Go out, step out, take a walk. This is what I do even till today. Whenever I feel like there's nothing much to do for me at home, I step out. I'll go here and there, some park near my house, go take a walk, just look at the plants, look at the nature. I take a walk. I've been this person who used to not step out of the house at all. I would always want to be in my house, be in my comfort zone. I'm telling you, you need not to do it. Even if you have a terrace, just go and take a walk. That's what I meant to say, because you just have to get out of that zone. When you are in that zone to use your phone, that's what you are going to do. That's what you will end up doing. So that's why I'm telling you to zone out. To just zone out, just go out, take a walk here and there. That's very important. This is one thing that really helped me. I go out just like that with my brother. We go out, drink some coconut water, and we make sure to not to use phone at that point of time. You have to set that time for yourself where you're not using phone at all, which is my next tip, which is know when you need to use your phone. Like, you need to know when you're supposed to use it. When you know when to use it, you will also know when not to use it. A lot of times we end up using phone because we're like, it's okay even if I use it the entire day. It's not okay. It's not okay, because you need to know when you're supposed to use it. You are supposed to use it for your work. You're supposed to use it to just relax your mind for a while, and that's it. The rest of the times you need not to use it. Okay, for calls and all, you will of course use it. That is very much obvious. But apart from that, if you're using it, it's like you're giving excessive amount of thoughts to your mind. There is so much that we can actually learn through phones these days, which I completely agree. If you are going in that, if you belong to that category, that is very much good, that you are learning something out of it. You are learning by watching something, then that's really good. But if you are unnecessarily scrolling and scrolling and scrolling without even prioritizing people, that's not correct. That's what I'm telling you. When I regretted, I was just scrolling social media back then. Even when my mama wanted to speak to me, I did not speak because I was prioritizing social media, which is the worst thing. So that's why I'm telling you, you need to know when you have to use your mobile. If you do not know, don't use it. I know it sounds easy when I say don't use, but I'm telling you, just keep timings for yourself that when you're supposed to use. For me, I know that first thing in the morning, I'm not going to use my phone because I'll just keep my phone with my mom. So there's no chance of me taking the phone. And the next thing is, I'm not going to use my phone until I bath, I have my breakfast, then I have time, and then I start using my phone because I need to check the comments and stuff like that. I don't receive a lot of messages also on WhatsApp, so I'm not like that busy person. So whatever comments I get, I reply to them. I see what's the work that I need to get done with. So in shoot, like after my shoot is done, that is when I'll scroll social media for my work. All right. And then towards the end of the day, I see if everything is uploaded, all the edits are done and all, then I use phone. So I know when I'm supposed to use it. I know at what time I'm supposed to use it, because of which it's easier for me to know when I'm not supposed to use it. So whenever I have some breaks, I simply switch on TVs, play some songs, and I'll just keep listening to them. While listening to the songs itself, I'll get a lot of thoughts in my mind, which I will put down on my book. I'm not even someone who takes notes on phone. I carry literally a book with me so that I can write. So I try my best to be away from it as much as possible, is what I'm trying to tell you. So know when you are supposed to use it. Next one is priorities, guys. What you prioritize matters a lot. What are you literally trying to prioritize? As I told you in the first, that a lot of children these days, 61%, when a research is done, 61% of children, they chose mobile phones over their moms. Priorities, they do matter. Whenever there is time for you to spend with your family, don't prioritize your mobile phone. Go spend that time with your family, because you don't know, you will not get that time again. If that moment is gone, it's gone. You can use your mobile phone anytime later. That content is anyway available on your mobile phone, okay? You can watch it anytime. But I'm telling you, if there is any time that is so emotionally close to you, you have to spend time with your family, you have to spend time on learning something, go do it. Mobile Mobile phone can be paused for some time. You can do that later. So know what your priorities are. If you're prioritizing your phone, then you will be addicted to phone. So that's what I'm telling you. You need to know what your priorities are. One more last point I would like to tell you all is that it's all here. No matter how many videos I make on this one, it should start from within. I know you must have already watched so many videos on phone addiction, how to get rid of phone addiction. But let me just tell you, it has to start with you. We have to set a beautiful example to the next generation. There is no point of complaining that, oh my god, my child is using so much of mobile phone. It's you who has done it. There is no point of blaming them. If in the future, if you want to set a good example to your children, you need to be a good person first. You need to have a control over your life. Not you are giving control of your life to mobile phone, which is the worst thing that you are doing. You are not even able to control phone addiction in your life. What else do you think you can control? You cannot even control anything in life. So that's what I'm telling you. Do not get addicted to phone. I'm telling you, please be away from it. It has to start within you. I will tell you 100 tips. If you don't follow it, nothing is going to help you. So it has to start with you. Start today. It's never too late. Please start at least today. Sit back, relax, analyze how much you're using phone and what are you supposed to do it. What are you supposed to do in order to get rid of it, and start doing it today, because we are responsible for our next generation.